Welcome to A Balancing Act, a podcast devoted to helping families navigate memory loss. I'm Kelly Burtonshaw. When a loved one is diagnosed with memory loss, everyone's lives change. Family members now have to juggle their loved one's increasing need for care while also trying to manage their own lives, families, and careers. It truly becomes a balancing act. I've worked with those affected by memory loss and with their families for more than 20 years. I created this podcast with the goal of helping you and your family face these challenges head on. Together, we'll find the answers because no one should walk this journey alone. Let's get started. Welcome back, everyone. Well, I just got off the phone with a frustrated daughter who tells me she's about to throw in the towel regarding her mother's ongoing, shall we say, lack of hygiene. She tells me her mother had always taken great pride in her appearance, always impeccably dressed, never leaving the house without her makeup, jewelry, and perfume. Now, I'm told, she frequently wears the same clothes every day. She often forgets to brush her teeth. She insists that she doesn't need to shower or to wash her hair, and sometimes she just keeps adding more makeup to old. Her daughter told me when she brings any of this up, her mother becomes infuriated, accusing her daughter of meddling. And I want you to know it's important to look for changes like these in your loved one. Trouble with mundane, everyday tasks, such as personal grooming and bathing, can be hallmarks of a progressing dementia. And while it doesn't always seem to be an issue for them, it can be greatly upsetting to you, the family members, and to their friends. My goal today is to help you take a closer look at these behaviors so that you can understand how to meet your loved one at their level of abilities, how to adapt expectations, and how to set your loved one up for comfort and cleanliness. Many of us take for granted that we know how to manage our appearance and our hygiene without even really thinking about it. But as dementia progresses, it starts chipping away at all the abilities we need to perform even basic tasks. So it follows that over time, even simple things like brushing your teeth, choosing what to wear, and showering can become one of those, I don't need to do that, I already did it, type of moments. If you suspect that your loved one is having trouble performing their self-care, here's some signs to look for. A new box of toothpaste still unopened, their toothbrush in a drawer not being used, unused soap in the shower, unused shampoo, towels not being used, clothes not being washed. And maybe here's something that's happened to you. Let's say you called your dad on the phone to tell him you're going to take him to a ball game, and he said he was getting ready. And when you get there, he is still in his pajamas, carrying around his belt and some socks. And maybe you're seeing it's not just personal cares that are taking a hit. You're likely going to see other tasks not being performed or completed around the house as well. Typically, if your loved one is at the point where they're neglecting their hygiene and grooming, we can expect that they are transitioning to a stage of dementia where they might need some help with basic everyday tasks. But before you run out, hire some help, I want you to ask yourself this. If your loved one is wearing the same clothes as you saw them in the day before, who is more bothered by this, you or your loved one? Well, check it out. Are their clothes stained, filthy, or smell? Does your loved one need to be anywhere today, or are they expecting visitors? Do they absolutely need to take a shower to wash their hair or shave? Well, if they're comfortable and there are no apparent reasons to make them change, then where's the harm? So take a moment to really think about who actually has a problem with what's going on at the moment, you or your loved one. You may not need to intervene at all. However, if cleanliness and hygiene are more often than not going by the wayside, here's what I recommend. Instead of focusing on what your loved one is not doing, learn what they are doing and how that impacts their grooming and hygiene. And right now, I'm going to give you a formula when thinking about how to help them without taking over the tasks for them or becoming their task master. Declutter, downsize, and simplify. Next time you're with your loved one, try to find a way to observe some of their tasks and think about some of the struggles that come with the progressing dementia. First and foremost, performing any task requires attention and concentration. And we know that over time, age and dementia reduce those abilities to attend to visual information, all the things around us. We start to get more tunnel vision. So if you notice your loved one becoming distracted when they're on their way to their task or right in the middle of their task, let's explore some ways you can get their visual attention, reduce the likelihood of distractions, and facilitate their concentration. Here's where I always start: staging the environment by decluttering. I mean, really, how many tubes of toothpaste, shampoo bottles, types of lotions, or mascara options does your loved one need at a time? One. So declutter the visual field around important tasks. Get rid of that visual noise by then downsizing the options. But keep in mind that change can be the enemy to those with dementia. They may get testy if you start removing things willy-nilly. It can help then to give them a motivation for doing it. Ask your dad if he needs new razors or shaving cream. You can ask your wife which products she likes best so you can add them to the shopping list and get rid of the ones she doesn't like. You can even offer to do your mom's hair and makeup while you straighten up the bathroom counter. Here's another tip to keep things calm. It helps to show them that you're keeping their favorite products too. You're less likely to get pushback from your loved one when you make this a pleasant experience that honors their choices. But there is a likelihood that you may have to declutter and downsize while they are out of the home. And the downsizing might also be something you need to spread out over time. Whatever works to keep your loved one's temperature down and the arguments at bay. Another visual attention tool that might be successful for you and your loved one. Think of adding things like pretty reminders or a sign on their mirror to remind them to brush their teeth. Or add a checklist for Dad's morning routine on the wall in the bathroom. Families I work with have had success with tools such as these. But be open to the chance your loved one may find it embarrassing or condescending to be given written reminders that everyone can see if they go in the bathroom. So tread carefully. But anyway, you can get their visual attention, pointing them in the right direction and to the exact tools they'll need, you will increase the likelihood they will get that task done. Now I want to talk about how brain changes affect other skills that your loved one will need to perform their tasks. Things like memory, decision-making, and sequencing abilities. And these problems can really come to a head with dressing. Let's take a minute. Let's go back to the father who told his son he would get dressed and be ready. But when his son got there, he was still in his pajamas, carrying around his belt and some socks. This is when it may be a good idea to have your loved one walk you through their process. Look around the room for distractions, visual clutter. Does your loved one go to a dresser or a closet when asked, "What are you thinking of wearing?" And if so, how many choices or visual clutter is there in both locations? If he looks through them and turns away, it may be that he's having a difficult time deciding what to wear. He's overwhelmed by choices. This is when we start thinking of the next part of my formula: simplify. Take out two things, only two things, and give him a choice. Do you want to wear this or do you want to wear that? That makes everything so much easier for him. Now, let's talk about sequencing. If your loved one starts to pull out things to get dressed or ready, but in a peculiar order, such as pulling out a t-shirt and then shoes, and starts getting dressed, this is a problem with sequencing. Just give them a hint about what to do next. I would say something like, "You got your shirt? You got your shoes? You know what? Let's find some pants. Do you want to wear these or these? Finally, if your loved one repeatedly asks you, why do I have to get ready right now? Why are you even here? Of course, those are memory issues. Remind them of the benefit of doing what they're doing. Dad, I'm going to get you ready for the baseball game, and it's a little chilly outside, so do you want to wear a sweater or a jacket? Bring it back to that motivation as often as you can. This is how we get to simplify. Finally, and a lot of people don't think of this reason, but maybe your loved one is wearing the same clothing because it's just easier. I don't know about you, but as I've gotten older, I struggle with those tiny little buttons and zippers. And having shoes I can just step in or have Velcro strips to clothes are just easier to put on. Your loved one may have these types of clothing. Keep them around. After all, your loved one might just be more comfortable in a pair of soft sweats and a t-shirt. I know I am. Finally, we need to talk about bathing. And this one can be especially tricky because it is so deeply intimate. And with age, there are other changes to our bodies to consider along with dementia. It becomes harder for the body to regulate temperature. That's why your loved one always wants that thermostat set at 80 degrees and wears a sweater, even in the summer. So imagine removing all your clothes in a chilly bathroom and then stepping into a tub and then stepping out wet. They're still freezing. Here's another thing to consider. Dementia and age will impact your loved one's sense of smell. So they can't really tell if they need to attend to their personal hygiene. Or it can go the other way. If you've ever sat in a movie theater near an elderly lady with way too much perfume on, you get the idea. Her nose couldn't tell her when to stop. And then finally, think about age-related changes in finger dexterity. Think about trying to open a stubborn shampoo bottle cap when your hands are wet, or holding the wet soap. The whole process of bathing, from start to finish, is a very intimate, intricate, and physical activity. And it can be exhausting to someone who already tires easily. Now, add all this to your new understanding of how dementia-related brain changes affect tasks, and you may have a better idea of why a bath or shower may be skipped. So, here are some ideas. Does your loved one need to take a shower or a bath every day? Maybe not. If it has been a while, to improve their motivation, use an upcoming calendar event or make one to help them identify it's time to take a shower or bath to get ready. Having visitors come are a great reason to clean up and get ready. Then when they are ready to take a shower or a bath, turn on the hot water before they get in the bathroom and close the door to warm up the room. In some of the care facilities I work at, we throw the towels into the dryer beforehand too, so they're nice and warm. We transferred the shampoo, conditioner, and body soap to pump bottles, much easier to use, and with large labels. And for safety, we make sure there's a shower seat with a washcloth on it because sitting while taking a shower is much easier and safer. If all else fails and your loved one refuses to take a bath or a shower, sponge baths or washcloth baths work just as well. And you can also use dry shampoo. Just like with grooming and dressing, the goal is to simplify everything you can around the experience. I'm including some excellent resources in today's show notes about all the strategies you can use. As we come to the end of this episode, I want you to know that it is perfectly okay if you do not want anything to do with your loved one's self-care. Taking a bath, combing hair, getting dressed are supposed to be private. And I understand assisting another family member with these things can be unsettling. Sometimes daughters feel very uneasy about helping their fathers, and sons feel very strange about helping their mothers. And friends may feel completely out of place dealing with such personal activities. Perhaps you can enlist the help of an in-home health aide for this. Your loved one's social worker or physician can refer you to an agency specializing in this type of care. And if your loved one is already in an assisted living or memory care setting and these problems arise, you can certainly meet with the care team to brainstorm how to get the assistance your loved one needs. Today, I wanted to give you the reasons behind what your loved one is doing. I wanted to help you adjust expectations of what your loved one is able to do regarding their personal hygiene. And I wanted to give you ways to help succeed in performing their personal care. That's why I'm here. And please, if you have any questions or you would like to chat with me, please reach out on our Facebook page. I'd love to hear from you. And remember, whatever challenges come your way, please keep this front and center in your mind. No one is perfect at this. No one. You're doing the best you can. You're doing it from a place of love. And that is enough. I'm Kelly Burtonshaw, and it was my pleasure spending time with you today. Please keep in touch.
Hi, I'm Peggy Wright, editor and producer of this podcast. If you like this episode, let us know by following A Balancing Act wherever you get your podcasts. Please take a moment to rate and review. Check us out on our new Facebook page and YouTube channel as well. Links are in the show notes. Be sure to leave any comments or questions for Kelly, as this will help us continue to provide relevant, trusted content you can use right now to help you navigate a loved one's memory loss. We're here to help, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thanks for listening today.